Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. So now here he is. He's here to wake up your day, as always, with the Rooster Crow. It's Johnny Rooster.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I wrote that song, so I like the little background. Getting down on the farm here. Right? So, good morning, and it is Friday, and it's exciting, and life is good. The sun is shining today. You're on Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster, and my guest today is Darlene Myrick. Say hello.
Hi, everybody.
Darlene, you're excited to be here, I'm sure.
Yes, I am.
What an honor, right?
It is an honor.
It's great to have you here. You found the studio. You're here. It's always a fun experience trying to find a building with no sign.
You gave me good directions.
I put out my little sign out there about my crosses. I do solar yard crosses. You probably didn't see it, but I stuck it out there just in case that was helpful. It's kind of like when you have an anniversary or a wedding, you put the balloons out at the corner intersection so they can find out where is the party.
There you go. I didn't notice it, but that's okay.
It's all right. We're trying to do whatever we can, shoot up flares, hang up scarecrows.
There you go.
It takes a lot of effort to get some people's attention, but you found it immediately, right?
I did.
Your navigation system works well.
For a change. Thank you.
A lot of people don't have a good GPS, or they have one that will lead them beyond this building.
Yeah.
I've actually seen people do U-turns on the highway. We won't mention Vanessa. Oh, we just did. See, I like to throw people all over the place, under the bus, atop of the bus, wherever they need to land. But it's fun. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
We have fun. On this show, we talk about things that normally you don't hear, and we don't want to get too significant and too deep. But it's fun. I've labeled this one, what do you do with your life? A life coach. A lot of people are young and they're life coaching now, and I think that that's not a very good qualification. I believe life coaches need to live a little bit to understand life better.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little about you, Darlene, while I'm getting this set up.
Sure. So my life experience, my goodness, it's all over the place. But starting probably 16, 17, 18 years old, I just started working in an office, climbed the administrative ladder, reached a place where I was training adults in adult education, and ended up getting a job, interestingly enough, training EPIC, electronic medical record in a hospital and clinical setting. And that's where all the doors of opportunity opened for me as a trainer, and to utilize all my experience in administration, in the office. How do you get that good job?
Yeah.
How do you get in the door with that good resume?
So you help people build their resume and create that right word choice, that right presence, so they can get the right job.
Absolutely.
Now, that's what you call a life coach.
Yeah, so life coach, you could have a lot of niches.
Used to be niches, now it's niches. You say potato, I say potato.
Let's get politically correct, right? Yeah, and so my niche, I found out, was career transitioning. So I was so good at doing resumes, very powerful resumes, and also being able to help my colleagues, that I decided that this would be a good avenue to travel down, to be able to help people find their passion. Some people just have a job.
Yes.
Other people have lost their jobs. Some people just need another, a direction to take, and I'm there to help you help yourself.
So you help them help themselves. So what is the one best way that you do that? What's the most specific thing that you do for them? Because anybody can say, well, I've got my resume, but what do you do specifically to help them with it?
Well, initially we start off with a complimentary session, half hour, just to get to know each other a little bit, because not everybody is a perfect match. And that's what we try to determine. What do you really want, and how are we going to get there using my services?
Yes.
And so that's what we do initially is a complimentary session together. From that point on, there's a little bit of paperwork, and then we get into the nitty-gritty. And the paperwork is actually just some information about my client and what they are looking for, so I know what direction to take them in.
Okay, so then you get to know the client, you understand what they need, and what's a good match for you? Who are you looking for?
I am looking for someone who is motivated. If you're somebody that just wants to I don't know, just live, succeed, just work from 8 to 5, and come home and take care of their children and whatever else, which is great. My perfect client is someone who's really motivated and maybe doesn't know where they want to go in life.
Yeah.
But that's my job, to circle them around and get them going in the right direction. I think the one word I could use that I'm looking for is someone that is wanting to be a better version of themselves.
Okay. Well, isn't that a lot of people want to be a better version of themselves? So how would you guide them through something like that?
Well, initially we talk about where they have come from. It sounds a little bit like counseling, which I'm not.
Okay.
I'm definitely not a counselor.
Not a counselor.
No, but the direction is similar, where we talk about where it came from, what experiences they've had. If I'm doing just a resume with somebody, it's a little bit more in depth. What are their accomplishments? What have they done in their life? And some people don't even really know. I have to sort of pull it out of them. Oh, you got an award at work for what? You know, and why?
Because they're not used to talking that way.
No, and those are the kind of things that I bring out in a resume specifically.
Yeah. So you're helping them highlight what's important.
Yes, because today with COVID the way it is, a lot of people have lost their job, and they don't know where to go. They are lost, and that's what I help them do, is find their way back to get that confidence back that they once had, possibly after this pandemic and losing a job. Or maybe they just want to upgrade their resume and make it a little bit more specific to the job that they're applying for, which is another very important aspect of resumes, and finding that perfect life coach.
So your life is important, and a life coach can be important, and it goes beyond what you're doing for your occupation. If you've lost your job and it's COVID, you have a lot of layoffs going on out there, but there's always a way to come back if you have the right attitude. And as my guest, Darlene Myrick, is saying, you've got to be able to be motivated to do that. And sometimes with these stimulus checks or these people were getting paid last year to stay home, it's hard to stay motivated. Some people get all lackadaisical and complacent, and they give up their drive. They've lost their drive.
Absolutely. And so if you are feeling like unfulfilled in the current role you're in, or maybe you've applied for multiple jobs and you haven't even gotten a call in for an interview, and you just might be wondering, what is my best career path? I don't know what I want. That's another thing.
Okay, so can we role play something here? Would that be all right with you?
I would love to. So there was a story I'd love to share.
Sure, go right ahead.
It was a success story.
Ladies and gentlemen, story time.
So I was working in Orange County, California, and was in a business where I had to train the disabled. And so there was a man in my classroom who was a former truck driver, older guy, had been doing it for 30, 40 years, and he got hurt on the job.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he says, Darlene, how are you going to help me?
Yeah.
Really, how are you going to help me? I've been a truck driver all my life.
That's
I can't
right.
do it
That's
anymore.
what I got. That's what I do.
Well, Darlene's little brain started working, clicking, and I thought, hey, how did I become a teacher? I teach word processing, keyboarding, right? I started to
There you
really
go.
think. Okay, then I started thinking, okay, if I can type and I can, I would be able to teach typing because I can type 94 words a minute.
There you go.
And I thought I could teach typing. And so that's what I ended up doing is teaching in office occupations, a area I love the most.
Yeah.
Well, good old Johnny was his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah,
Actually,
Johnny
it was
Rooster.
Johnny. It wasn't
Johnny
a
the
rooster.
truck driver.
Yeah, Johnny the truck driver.
There you
What
go.
ended up with him is, I said, hey, how would you be, or would you be interested in teaching somebody how to drive a semi-truck?
Mm-hmm.
And he went, huh? And yeah. How many truck driving schools are around here?
All right.
And he said, yeah. He goes, could you do that? Could you set me up? And I said, we'll try.
Yeah.
And so got him a good dynamic resume and got him an interview. And once he was in the door, he was so excited because he got the job.
Yeah.
And so later on that month, I hear honk, honk.
'Cause he's
on the
driving
horn.
by?
He's driving by, and he brought me a bouquet of flowers because he is now a truck driver, something he loves, but
He's
now
a
he's
trainer.
training it.
So is that a good paying job?
Very good paying
Yes,
job.
there's some good money, and if you, if I can say this, your resume building powers, it's your superpower. When you help somebody's resume pop and they get noticed, they can get thousands of dollars a year more than they would have struggling on their own.
Absolutely.
And your resume building is a minor investment compared to the money they're going to get as somebody. Once you know it's a match, you're almost right there. It's like once you know, Darlene, once this lady knows that it's the right combination, they're the right person, they're going to get something good from this resume.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when you are feeling like you're at an impasse in life and you're unsure about getting yourself, how do I get out of
Yeah.
this muck? Bring in that coach.
Yes.
Because the coach is the one, it's a little bit of an investment, but it's worth it in the long run.
You can't just assume you're going to be okay on your own anymore. It's not enough in so many cases to flounder. So we're going to do a little role play, if that's all right.
Sure.
Okay, I'm one of your potential clients. I'm going to be here, and this is our consultation. What kind of things would you ask me? I'm coming in, and I have need, and this is me in the real world. I'm going to use my real personal experience here, if that's all right,
Sure.
to say I have had a job as a newspaper journalist before the Internet, and then I got into sales because the Internet brought my career to a new place. It's now no longer a tangible, physical newspaper people are reading. They're going to the sites like social media, wherever they get their news now. It's not like it was back in the old days, like before the Internet. So I had my college degree in journalism. I was a professional newspaper reporter in the 80s and 90s, but around the year 2000, our little paper, along with all the other papers, got sold to a big conglomerate. Now the Internet came along, and we have a different way of showing and sharing and reporting news. In fact, the little paper I used to work for closed down for all practical purposes. They don't even have an office. They're now doing a remote thing, and they're doing mostly an online. But they do print a paper, but it's not there. It's elsewhere. Everything is handled differently. So I got into door-to-door sales for money. That's not a good idea. Just for money. You
Right.
get into something because you think you're going to make money, but I made a lot of money and I made no money. It was up and down because I'm selling an item that I'm not totally convinced is the greatest thing in the world. I'm just doing it for the money. Then I go into another opportunity for the money, and it's just sales, and it didn't work out. meaning I was not consistent. It was up and down, and I didn't love it. I loved to write. So I came back around, and to myself, I started writing books, but I didn't know how to market those books. I'm still a book author without a good audience. So I'm here in a broadcast because I did broadcasting and journalism. That's what I would love to do. So now I need an audience. How do you help me find my audience? That's where I would be. I'm a little different from a truck driver for sure. So it's not just an 8 to 5 that I'm trying to fill anyway. I'm ambitious and motivated. I'm creating content for a program called the Johnny Rooster Show, and I want to here's the idea, here's the goal of this. Okay, this is real world. This is good. You're helpful. I'm going to have to pay you when you leave, you know. But here's the idea. I want to bring in nonprofits and businesses, bring them together on this show so they can understand each other. And the third party I want to bring along is entertainers, performers, so that we have a show like a late night talk show, you know, like Johnny Carson or all the people that are on at night that used to have all the fun things. Like back in the day, Saturday Night Live did a lot of stuff, and it was funny before it got real political. So it's just what I'm talking about. I want to show a business in a delightful, entertaining, fun way so that the people like the business because they like the activity they're watching. So I'm producing a show people want to watch, but it includes business owners and leaders and entrepreneurs and nonprofit leaders and entertainers in a delightful scenario that may not describe their business. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it brings them together in an activity that's showing on the screen on the show, and they're like, the audience says, I like that. It's funny. It's fun. I like that business because I describe who the business owner is and what they do, but it's not the highlight. So that's it's new territory that I'm calling advertainment. And that's a word that's been around, but it means I'm entertaining people, but I'm helping them, bring them an audience, a fan base, if you will. I want to bring up new fans for people that are business leaders, nonprofits, and performers. They don't have a fan base because the COVID took away their audience or it took away their opportunity, and now they've got this small business. I want to help them through entertainment to bring them to a fun place where the audience, the fans, grow and love them because they're watching them on a show that they would have never been on in a normal setting. I'm bringing something new. Does that help you? This is where I'm trying to go. I don't have an audience yet to speak of, not a big audience, a little one, but I'm trying to reach out to somebody new to help businesses, nonprofits, and entertainers find common ground and build a fan base together where they can all succeed and profit. It's a big mission.
It is a great mission, and one of the things that I hear, and I'm sure your audience hears also, is your enthusiasm and your excitement and your passion.
Thank you.
And you find when somebody has all those things combined, it's really helps the life coach because we can start digging into much more than surface things. So what exactly do you want to do? One of the most important words of our English language, other than Jesus Christ, is networking. And if you have a network of professionals in your circle, it's only going to help you. And I think that's what you've done through the Courageous Business Connect.
Right.
And which is how I met you initially.
Right.
And so the networking part of what I do or help you do, again, helping you help yourself.
Yes.
One of the most important things out there to get the interview, get that, because it's all about getting that interview. So once you have that strong resume that highlights all of your skills, highlights everybody you've interviewed in your life, just as much as you can get on there without making it a book, okay? You want your resume precise, but enough information to where it gives the employer enough information that will give them some insight into where you're coming from. And that's what a resume does. A resume doesn't get you the job. It gets you the interview. And then when you go into the interview, the life coach, okay, your conversation with the life coach and your time spent with them is going to help you through that interview so that you, say the right things, hopefully know I hate to use that expression, but the game that goes on in the employment industry. Just so you know, what is your competition? That's another serious factor to consider. How do I make myself stand out among the others that are doing maybe the same thing you want to do? Of course, Johnny, you are unique.
I'm pretty much a snowflake.
You are special. You are unique.
Unicorn.
But I think that would be, I think the most important thing is to have that one-on-one. Once you get that one-on-one, and you can flourish from there. Both your relationship between yourself and your coach is critical. If you don't have that connection with them, a life coach is really going to do you no good. They won't do you any good. But once you have that connection and you feel like they really care about you and what you're doing, I think you're in good shape.
Well, I have a knowledge of you through the Courageous Business Connect, and that you're right. There are a lot of opportunities for people that want to network or that need to network. These are business professionals that have their own business that want and need somebody to help them with referrals because they know you. They're going to recommend you if they know you. They're going to recommend your service or your product. With mine, it's a little different. I'm joining businesses, nonprofits, and performers. Those are three different groups. I want to introduce them to each other in a delightful, in a very fun way, so they can have fun, not have to worry about the stress of what they normally do, have a good time, and then the takeaway is the audience grows. A fan base is growing for them to help their business, their nonprofit, and their performance career. That's helping them by building that group of people. It's like the Courageous Business Connect is by Kat Williams. She's been on this show. She's bringing different groups of people together. She has 5, 6, 7 times a week that they meet in different locations. So if you check out Courageous Business Connect, you can certainly do that. On Facebook is a good way to find them, or on YouTube. But you can find courageousbusinessconnect.com and get connected there.
Yes.
Beyond that, if I'm trying to bring people together that are business leaders, nonprofits, and performers, now I've got to reach out. Who do you know that's a performer? That's what I'll ask Kat. Who do you know that's a business leader or a nonprofit? Well, I'll ask you that too. Who do you know? And that's how we're networking.
Yes.
And then you might say, well, I am looking for people that want to build their resume because they've got this career. They've been sidelined and they're trying to regroup. That's a really big audience now. People that don't have a mission in life, they used to. They're good at stuff. You're helping them it's kind of like repurposing the old furniture or the old item. Remember those phonograph players and stuff? Mm-hmm. People have made decorations out of different things from the past, and they made them valuable again on the market. So maybe your job was a driver, and now you're a trainer. That's what your example was. So we're talking, if you just tuned in, we're talking to Darlene Myrick. She is a life coach, but she helps build your resume, put the pop in your resume. And I put some phrases in the description about how your life can go from this generation to the next. It can actually affect your entire path of your life.
And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take that first step, that leap into the unknown, okay? Because that leap that you take, which you probably did too, Johnny, not knowing what exactly where you were going or what was going to happen. You didn't know how
Still taking that leap, you know.
And you're helping so many people.
Thank you.
You know, even myself, being able to get my name out there and my services and what all I do, I think is a real important part of your job. What you're trying to do to help the community. And so some of the things that I do to help the community is student career coaching. Even,
Oh, okay.
so even a college student that is stuck like, oh God, what classes do I take? Do I want to be in business administration or do I want to go into communications? Happened to me. I was going into business, and then I discovered, you know what, I think communications is a better avenue for me to take,
Yeah.
which is what I did. And then retraining the disabled like I did with Johnny the truck driver. And, you know, being able to do a resume, combining all those things that encompass finding your passion in life, finding that right job. College, well, let's see, high school seniors, parents who can't seem to get their senior on the track that they want them to go on, or at least to help them find where they want to go. That's another.
Because I didn't get her name, but I needed to get.
Now, if you want just that, remember.
Well, that's the wrong name, so.
Okay, that's Dr. Steve Albrecht.
Yep.
So you scroll down here like this. This
There
is
it
where you
is.
want it here. Let's
Thanks for hanging with me. I'm learning how to run this
Hey,
program
I
this way.
understand.
right here, you want to hit those.
Okay.
Hit one of those, and there it goes.
We got your name and your title up as insightfulaspirations.com on the screen now, and I was doing that and pushed the wrong one and got the wrong name. So
Hey,
now we got the right one.
Happens to the best.
It's got to be the right one.
I'm going to close that out so that doesn't happen again. And
So Darlene, and tell us your background as far as how you grew up and what kind of person you are. Get to know Darlene.
Oh,
What makes you tick?
about Darlene. So I even have a
Thank
segment
you.
in my on my website about Darlene with the story. So one of the things about Darlene is I seem like I always, my mama used to tell me I had an Italian mama and grandma, and they always said, "Oh, give it to Darlene, she'll get it done.
Yeah.
Or she'll know what to do." I had a lot of pressure on me growing up and into adulthood. And so I think that I was always encouraged to be the best that you can be, to treat people like you want to be treated. And that's the way I grew up. I have a heart for people that have gone through what I've gone through. I understand. I think that's part of the good things about your life, that you may not even realize how much life experience you have. A resume is great, it looks good on paper and everything like that. It's all good. But that experience that you have, that you take to the table, that's what you sell yourself with in the interview. And I've been able to do that from the time I was, just a kid, 16, and I had my permit and to work and everything. I always had this drive inside of me. And I think that's where life happens. You get married, 20 years, divorced, maybe. And then what do? And I ended up getting my degree at 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I did it.
Yeah.
You guys, I did it.
Yeah.
40 years old. that means you're never too old to get educated. You're never too old to learn. And I think that's mainly, when you look back at your life and you think, what have I done? What accomplishments? I help you as a life coach to write those things down so that they're in your face. They're there, and you can remember that as you're going into that interview, so you can go in there with confidence.
There's a little arm right in front of you. This way up here. This part of the mic. Push that closer to your face. Right. Keep going.
Okay.
Okay. Now talk a little more directly into the mic.
Got it.
There it is. That's better. Because we want people to hear this. It's real important. Now, have you been through a hard time, like a divorce or some life change like that?
Terrible. Yes.
So, a real rough time. Did you have a hard struggle in your life?
I did. And that's another area, that I can relate to people. And I have there is addiction in our family, and I had to go through that with both a husband and a child. And that particular husband, my child's father, is no longer with us due to that. But I was able to manage to get my degree even through all of that turmoil.
So you were getting a degree during all of that?
During the divorce, after 20 years of marriage, and also a son that had some difficulties, and I'm happy to say that he's thriving today.
Oh, good.
He's doing wonderful. So God is good.
Right.
All the
Amen.
time.
All the time. That's right. We give glory to God. And
Amen.
I know that life can definitely turn a different direction, and that's where you've got to rely on your faith.
Amen.
And beyond that, you have a career now. What did you do after you got your degree?
After I got my degree, I remained in administration. I worked as I guess you would call myself an admissions coordinator or admissions director for a local college. So that's another area of my life that I can help you with. As an admissions, working in admissions, you have to figure out where to go, what classes to take and everything. So that's another area that I specialize in.
Yeah, so you're helping students getting started. You're helping people that are regrouping if they're disabled or they've got a change in their job situation. And then that last one, you tell me again, what were you doing with the third group? Or was that it there? You're saying there's two different groups that you're helping, or is there three?
There's a handful, actually.
Yeah.
So college career. Parents of high school seniors, maybe.
Okay, that may be looking back to get back into the workforce.
Or just getting into the workforce, going into college.
Yeah, they've been a housewife, or they've been doing something working outside the home.
Re-entering the workforce is what you're talking about. Yes.
Are there different strategies for those kinds of people than there would be for somebody else?
Johnny, everybody's so different.
So every situation is unique.
Yes, it is unique. And I work directly one-on-one, interviewing. My time with the client is so important to get to know them and them to get to know me and make sure, as I said in the very beginning, that we're a good match for each other.
Well, I agree that sometimes people aren't a good match for each other, and that's a good thing to know up front. That's why you do a free consultation. If you go in, get hold of Darlene, and you can find you on Facebook. Is there another place to find you? They've got the .com, the Insightful Aspirations. Is there another place people find you?
You can also find me on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, all right, that's good. Under your name?
Yes. Under Darlene Myrick, M-Y-R-I-C-K.
We've got it on the screen there. I know we can't see it here, but there is a picture and the title on the screen, so people can see that. We always like to help people out. Is there anything else that you haven't talked about that you were hoping to get to that we didn't discuss?
I think we've covered the main
because you brought all these papers, and I didn't want you to ignore anything. She's got all this paperwork and notes and, prepared. And
just talking about the resume packages.
Yeah, go into that.
Yeah, so I have different.
Are you running a special through this, or what do you want to do?
So if you mention Johnny to me, hearing this interview, I will give you $50 off of a already reasonably priced resume package, and so normally $150. It will be $100 if you mention Johnny. That includes a thorough interview with me. It includes the resume.
Oh, wow.
It includes a list of references. It includes a cover letter.
So it's not just a resume, it's references, cover letter, you got it.
And I'll always be here for you.
And you're not going to go away after that initial thing. If they're starting their job search, you don't just say goodbye, I'll never talk to you again. You can refer back to if you have a question.
You need to revamp your resume again. Maybe you want to apply for another kind of job.
And what I'm making available to you also is this entire interview for $50. We do that as a gift or as a way to help you if you want to build your clientele through this interview. We've got the name up there. I got the right name on there as we're learning and growing. That's another thing that we backlog all of these interviews to help the business world reach their clients as well.
I love what you do, John.
So I appreciate that, awesome. And everybody can do that. If you're going to JohnnyRoosterLive.com, we're working on that site, but it's a developing .com site for people to go find who you are. We want to find out, are you an entertainer? Are you a nonprofit? Are you an entrepreneur? If you are, go to JohnnyRoosterLive.com and you can find out more about how to be a guest on this show. And then if you want to get a copy of this transcript, we call it the video interview. It's $50 to use any way you need to for your promotion of what you are doing, what you're talking about. I've also got some nice close-ups of you and trying to get you describing your story. We want to help you. We're really serious about it. Johnny Rooster is fun, but we want to bring that fun to your clients.
Awesome.
So thank you again for being here. We're going to take the last few minutes and just have some fun.
Okay.
So we're just going to talk about what are some of the things that you do and Valentine's Day is coming up. Okay, so Valentine's Day can be a lonely time for certain people and a really fun time for others. But I've noticed these Valentine hearts. Have you seen these hearts with the phrases on them? They've got like kiss me,
yes.
Text me. What are some of those? They're 2 or 3 words usually, right?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm getting at is if you had to make up a new phrase for a heart, you're going to have to come up with 2 words or 3 words. So Darlene Myrick, on the spot, on the Johnny Rooster Show, think of 3 words that would be on a Valentine heart. And I'll think with you because I'm starting with a clean slate, okay? We've wiped it clean. The heart is here. It's empty. And we're going to put 2 or 3 words on it. What would you say? That hasn't already been done. You can't just say, I love you. That's already taken. So
Or be mine. No.
Be mine is already taken.
Oh, darn
you
it.
can't go there. You got to keep going. Let's think.
Oh, be confident.
Oh, yes, that's good. See, that's what I'm looking for.
Confident.
Darlene is a life coach. She's a professional. So be confident.
Yes.
What else comes to mind? We're going to do this. We got 2 minutes left, and we're going to keep it going.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. See, wouldn't that be great on a Valentine heart? This is what makes it fun. We're coming up with this in a real world. 2 words, 3 words, or a word on. We have the be mine, kiss me, marry me, but we're doing be confident, be yourself, love others. How about love others? Love yourself.
Love yourself. Love others. Take the journey.
There you go. Take the journey.
Take
It's on
the
a Valentine heart. It's
journey.
probably, what flavor would that one be? It'd probably be like one of those.
Grape.
The grape one. Take the journey. Okay. It's a grape heart. It's not a real good red heart. It's a purple one. All right. They all taste really funky to me. Like a chalk. You're chewing on flavored chalk. It's a Valentine heart. So thank you. Any more? We're going to do one more before we're out of here.
Oh, goodness.
This is on the spot, coming up with Valentine heart phrases.
Oh, be accomplished.
Be accomplished. Can you imagine reading one of those like, that's not very romantic? Thank you so much, Darlene. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to kick this off here with my little exit music. All right, now, You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday to terrorize you once again. Thank you. This is Johnny Rooster, and thank you, Darlene, for being here.
Thank you, Johnny.